Gentlemen, please help me welcome Arden Cayetano, all about marijuana.
Thanks. Could I please be reminded who the timer is?
Yes, that's Susan.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, President, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The marijuana industry, a beacon of hope for 2021. 8.5% of all Belizeans use cannabis. That places us at 18th place of all countries in the world in terms of prevalence of cannabis use, higher than the Netherlands and, surprisingly, Jamaica. These statistics stem from a 2016 report by the United Nations, which coincidentally showed that when ranking by population size, Belize is the 177th largest country in the world. There are 176 countries in this world with a larger population size, yet only 17 countries have a higher per capita usage of marijuana than Belize. If you're anything like me, then light bulbs should be popping up in your head. These statistics indicate to me that marijuana has slowly but profoundly penetrated our culture and society. Chances are either we smoke it or we know people who avidly do. Marijuana has long been stigmatized and criminalized by our government, but we cannot run away from the facts and the numbers, and these very clearly show that marijuana is now a part of our Belizean identity. Why not benefit from it? With tourism and traveling curtailed for the foreseeable future and the deleterious long-term impacts of citrus leprosis and early mortality syndrome on our once flourishing citrus and shrimp industries, it is time that we shift focus and lay the groundwork for the marijuana industry to become a central part for economic and social recovery efforts post-COVID. The establishment of a marijuana industry offers several benefits to Belize, namely socially and economically. Let's think about how many decent young men have been jailed and had their police records tainted because of minor marijuana violations. Now they have trouble finding a job. Let's think about how very little jobs are available in Belize anyway for high school and university graduates, much less persons who are not so fortunate to attain an education. Let's think about how every newscast or Prime Minister, the Honorable Johnny Briceño, laments on the poor state of government finances and that they may not be able to sustain salaries much longer. Let's also consider that the Minister of Transport laid off over 80 bus terminal workers nationwide because there were no more government jobs and the private sector is shrinking. And the minister said he had to find jobs for his supporters. If government and businesses are not hiring, what other option do we have but to encourage entrepreneurship? Marijuana entrepreneurship has got to be the way forward. Young men will no longer have to worry about having a minor drug violation affect their ability to get a job and provide for their families. They can take control of their future. There will be a much lesser incentive to steal and carry out violent crimes. Our society will become much more peaceful, and there will be a much lesser need for the draconian state of emergency measures. The onus is on the government of Belize to step in and regulate the industry to ensure that prospective growers of marijuana are well supplied and educated as to the best practices to produce the optimal plant. The government of Belize stands to benefit significantly from this industry as the trade of marijuana has the potential to boost tax revenues so the government can properly carry out its functions and improve going forward. In 2015, the state of Colorado collected more than 135 million in taxes and fees on medical and recreational marijuana. While we are a small country, if we can use the marijuana industry as a marketing tool for tourists, it's possible that we could also rake in hundreds of millions of dollars. This is the opportunity for us to be the trailblazers in the Caribbean. Set up booths at the port, sell marijuana pastries and merchandise. Why must tourists go to Jamaica to get irie? Let them come to Belize. Imagine if we can transform what was at the time a negative statistic. We said that Belize ranks 18th on the list of cannabis usage. What if with the right policies and regulations, we can turn that into Belize ranks 18th on the list of cannabis exporters around the world? Imagine what those tax revenues can do for you and your children's futures. Better streets, better schools, subsidized healthcare, more secure pension. And if I didn't have time constraints, I would go on even further. We need to start in 2021 to make these dreams a reality. Marijuana has the potential to illuminate what at the moment seems like a very dark way forward. Light up the herbs, light up the economy, uplift Belize. Thank you.